Well, well. Look who's back. Return to the scene of the crime, have we?
One more round?
Why not?
Now, give me an...
How about lift? That's an action.
Fine. Now,
Right. A thing. Toad?
why not? Now,
Mile?
you're good at this. And finally, a
Gentleman?
Yes. Hey!
What is it now?
All lift! A toad, you mild gentleman!
Hey! You do know how to wound a bloke, Winnie.
Eee! Ha ha! Got him that time! Serves him right for being such a grumpy old grandad.
Would you mind, if that is, could you see your way fit to lending me that pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberley, for business purposes?
Business purposes? Well, be my guest. I've got bunches of them.
Let me see.
Here on business, you say, Wallace? What line are you in these days?
Honey, Constable Dibbins, from B to U, pipe fresh to your home or workplace daily. Do you have a sweet tooth, Constable?
Well, I have been known to dollop it on a crumpet now and again.
Then perhaps you'd like to subscribe.
I only procure my honey from reputable sources.
You can rely on From B to U for your honey needs, Constable. As our motto says, all the sweet and none of the sting.
So long as it's nothing like your Sniffer 3000 cheese detecting device.
Put your mind at ease, Constable. All our bees are bonded and insured.
Not killer bees from abroad, are they?
Certainly not. They're West Wallaby Street born and bred.
That's somewhat, I suppose.
How much does a helmet like that weigh?
£8 and 5 ounces. Some days feels more like £80.
Oh. Mr. Paneer will unveil my honey at tonight's Festival of Crumpets.
Is that so? Well, if Mr. Paneer's prepared to take a chance on you, I suppose I can too.
So, can I sign you up for my honey service, Constable Dibbins?
I'll pop over to Mr. Paneer's and have a taste, if I like it. And there's no undesirable side effects. We'll see.
So, can I sign...
I'll pop on effect.
It's a smart-looking helmet.
Aye, but it ruins me hairdo. Flat as a pancake, so you can't do a thing with it.
Oh. Cheesy nibble, Officer Dibbins?
Well, well, well. Wensleydale. Not attempting to bribe an officer, are you, Wallace? For shame. The great British Bobby cannot be bought off with a cheesy nibble.
I noticed you received my petition for early release of the Sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins.
Yes, and I notice it's attracted the signatures of just one man and his dog.
We're only appealing for natural justice.
But your blinking cheese detector thingamy, what do you call it, destroyed an entire grocery store.
Teething problems. It's still only a prototype.
A prototype? It's a villain, if you ask me. A diabolical device. You can see that in its face.
My machine isn't evil, Constable Dibbins. It's just got a short fuse and a few loose nuts.
We'll see. I'm going to formally interview this glorified tin can of yours, and if it can convince me that it's not a menace to society, then perhaps I'll release it into your custody. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. Cheeky blighter. We've had our little chat.
And?
I'm afraid there's no talking to your sniffer. Hardwired for criminality, I'd say.
Can you see fit to grant my appeal, Constable Dibbins?
Not on your Nelly. That heap of nuts and bolts is now but trouble. Couldn't give me a single straight answer when I tried to interrogate it.
It only responds to certain commands. I know, I programmed it. Perhaps you could try a gentler approach?
Well, I'll have another chat with it. More friendly-like.
Oh, yes. Oh, much obliged, Constable Dibbins.
I ain't promising nothing, mind. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Oi, where do you think you're going? If that's his attitude, he can rot in jail as far as I'm concerned. No change, I'm afraid. And its moral compass seems to be badly malfunctioning.
How long do you intend to hold my Sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins?
As long as the law requires.
It's not malicious. It just malfunctions from time to time.
Is that so?
And sometimes it short-circuits when it gets overheated.
Perhaps it does.
Why don't you try talking to it once more?
All right. Once more. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't know why I bother. I'm too soft, me. Why do I listen to you, Wallace? That heap of scrap hasn't changed its ways, and never will.
Constable Dibbins, please will you give the Sniffer 3000 one more chance?
You're very insistent, Wallace.
Only I've made a few minor adjustments to its remote control. I think you'll find it a reformed character now.
I'll be the judge of that. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
The sniffer doesn't work that way, Constable Gibbons. You've got to...
I'm conducting this interview, Wallace, if you don't mind.
No thanks.
If that's how he wants to play it, then he can stay in here until he rusts, for all I care. Haven't awakened its better nature, because it hasn't got one. It's programmed for pandemonium.
Me poor Sniffer 3000. I only just put the finishing touches on it yesterday, and it's already fallen afoul of the law. Constable Dibbins, please will you give the Sniffer 3000 one more chance?
You're very insistent, Wallace.
Only I've made a few minor adjustments to its remote control. I think you'll find it a reformed character now.
I'll be the judge of that. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you.
That mattress looks awfully hard. Automatically. Fear not, my little cheese-sniffing friend. Soon have you out of there.
I was right about this heap of scrap. It's wired for wickedness. We've had our little chat. I'm a...
It does gleam in...
Don't it? I'll give it a...
Constable Dibbins, please will you give the Sniffer...
You're very...
Only you'll find it...
I'll be... Time we had a little... Blast it. No.
Constable Dibbins,
You're very...
only find...
I'll... You there. That's more like it. Now you've had time to think, what can you tell me about what happened yesterday? Feel bad about what you did, do you? He's weeping. Maybe this contraption's got feelings after all. Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Well, I'll be damned. The prisoner has been interviewed
Yes?
and having exhibited signs of repentance, I am prepared to release him into your protective custody, provided, Wallace, you give me an assurance that you'll keep your blinking eye on him. Or it. Or whatever he answers to.
Oh, I'll keep an eye on him, Constable Dibbins. You have my word on that.
The sky is blue, and still it rains on yours truly.
Well, did you do as I asked?
I realise this may seem a trifle irregular, but Major Crumb insisted I show you this. It's... oh.
A snail? In my garden? Have you lost your mind, Wallace?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Here you are, little fella. Try some toast.
Yes, do feed him. I'm sure the little mite's hungry. What are you looking for exactly? You've come buzzing back, Mr. Wallace. As a bee to a blossom, eh?
I wonder, Miss Flit, if you would be so kind as to, hand me that tea bag.
Tea bag, Mr. Wallace? What tea bag?
The one on your,
Are you feeling quite well, Mr. Wallace? What is it, Mr. Wallace?
I need that tea bag.
I see no tea bag.
Right, there.
Where?
Sitting,
Sitting?
on your,
My what? The man is quite mystifying sometimes.
Miss Flit, if you'll just take a look at the pansies, I think you'll...
I told you, Mr. Wallace. I refuse to let those yellow hooligans have the satisfaction of... Oh!
people. You see? They're mending their ways. They just needed a firm talking to, that's all. Mother forgives you, you naughty little pansies. Sweet satisfaction, Mr. Uolles.
Yes, indeed. Very sweet. I still need one ingredient for my growth formula. Protein. Ought to be simple enough to find that.
You're persistent in your attentions this morning, Mr. Uolles.
Felicity is partial to purple plants, I think. I wonder where Major Crumb disappeared to.
Uolles! Thank heavens you made it to the shelter! I'd given you up for lost. Caught in the crossfire, were you? What's the news from above, citizen? Chaos and destruction? You've got to get your mind off the carnage up there. Would you like to hear one of my old war stories? I'd help pass the time.
Well, I hate to...
Of course you would. I brought visual aids. I can still see it perfectly. After all...
What a face!
That's me kitted out for heavy combat. That helmet took many a dent before the war was through. Without it, I could have become seriously loopy. Take my advice, Uolles. Never go into battle without a regulation helmet like the one in this picture. 3 weeks later, I was...
Who's that fellow?
That's me as a young recruit, off to basic training. How I cried when they cut off my golden curls. But I cheered up as soon as they issued me with a beautiful set of dog tags. Dashed useful dog tags if you happen to forget your rank or name. You've got it, right there. Never go into battle without your dog tags, Uolles. I could have stayed in Nurse Fifi's cabin.
Now, there's a sight.
That's me posing with Mother next to my 40mm bolters. Look at the size of that monster. Big Betty, we called her. The gun, not my mother.
Sounds like you were quite a soldier, Major Crumb.
Where, Uolles? Why the past tense?
Oh dear.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Something you civilians will never grasp. And I'd be happy to prove it by charging into the fray. That is, if I were recommissioned and had a proper helmet with a cute little brim, and if I could find someone to take charge of this shelter and distribute the protein bars.
There's the hatch from me. It isn't like Gromit to be so absent-minded. It's a comfort to know we're well stocked with biscuits.
You see, Private Gromit, I told you he'd make it back to us alive. Our Uolles is a fighter. Bagged a few of those blighters, did you?
I think not. Not... I found these in the hall, Major Crum.
Dog tags! I've been recommissioned. Bound to happen, of course. Can't leave good military material sitting on the shelf. My place is in the treasures. Yes, that's all very well, I suppose. But I'd need a good sturdy helmet with a cute little brim like the one I had in the war.
My workers are very devoted to their queen. Not a good idea. Bon appetit. Oh! Not exactly a flood, is it?
Ouch! What did you expect, Uolles? You can't...
Our queen, God bless her.
Sure, she looked thinner last time I stood to attention during the national anthem.
I thought you might find this useful, Major Crum.
A helmet! By George, Uolles, there's nothing like a good helmet. Makes a fellow want to put himself in the path of projectiles, if you know what I mean. By thunder, I'm a soldier again. Sir George is ready for his dragon. And yet, duty compels me to remain here. No one else to guard the grotine bars. Confounded sense of duty. You're looking at my case, aren't you, Wallace?
Well, I suppose I was, Major.
Bet you'd like to know what's inside.
I am curious, yes.
This case is packed full of government-issue protein bars.
Protein.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength protein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace. By George, this is an emergency! Private Gromit! I hereby issue you one protein bar. Guard it well, and see that it lasts you all day. Wallace, here's one for you as well.
Much obliged.
Wait! Careful, Wallace. You're heading into hostile territory. The enemy has clearly landed, and most likely set up camp in West Wallaby Street. Who knows what the blighters have done to our once peaceful neighborhood? If you make it back alive, you'll have to give us a full report. In the meantime, eat your protein rations. The protein will keep your strength up, especially if you're captured. Brave lad! We'll keep the home fires burning. What's the situation above? Fire and desolation as far as the eye can see? My God, I wish I could be up there.
Gromit could do the job.
Private Gromit? Can I entrust my precious cache of protein bars to a Pongo? Perhaps so. He's proven himself a trusty foot soldier. Yes. If I am called away to the front, I'd feel comfortable leaving Private Gromit in charge. Good heavens! I shouldn't be skulking around in a cellar like a frightened rat. I'm a soldier, by thunder! Private Gromit, I hereby appoint you officer commanding this air raid shelter. Here, you pass out the rations. I've got a war to win. Charge!
Now to get my hands on a protein bar. Gromit! Stop playing around, Gromit. Of all the... Request dispensation of protein bars, soldier. One unit of energized fluid for a creamy finish. One dose of strontium into the mix. One generous chunk of protein to give it texture. Now to mix up my very own quick grow muscle formula. That ought to do it. No, the mix semantics all mixed up. Stop! Stop! Help! Gromit! Oh, thanks, lad.
Checking to see if anything's sprouted yet, Mr. Wallace.
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Flit,
Really? I don't see what you're hoping to... Oh! I don't believe
it
it!
works! It works! The homemade quick grow miracle muscle formula works! We're in business now! You see, Gromit, look where a bit of enterprise can get you. If I hadn't found that flyer you chucked in the bin, I'd never have been able to concoct my miracle grow formula. And then where would we be? You really must be careful what you chuck out, you know? Blinking Nora!
Oh, my word!